Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, these beasts are feeding on that carcass. If only we could pour some sleeping potion on it.
You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight.
I need a bit of practice.
Watch out, Anadag!
Look at the basin and the symbols around it. Given the islanders' taste for rituals and enigmas, I think you should touch the water.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you, no?
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree. I was something else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then, the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it is supposed to evoke death. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire, I'm certain. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it here? This looks like a snowflake. Snow or maybe ice. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. I need a bit of practice. This must be the seal that Glendan spoke. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tir Fredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einon Mil Frichtemann.
Ber tir to mad on Olmanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tir Fredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the Dosantats. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of rules and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Einon Mil Frichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warn you, your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince him as well. Where can I find him?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then, we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Deirdre, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
My mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes. I heard about your loss, Siora. And divorced Tirce. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirce. Thank you, Glyndon.
Dedra is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I have already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Didekidan Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa'awalamseg. I hope that you will find him.
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord Dorsey's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord Dorsey has been attacked.
He believes. He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes?
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events. But know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By islander, do you mean the Donegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes, a strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, milady. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. But I could show you where I was posted. The islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Denega?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition, but your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into again?
I am sorry, milady, but I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Dismissed, soldier. Looks like I'm going on an expedition.
Thank you, milady.
Dara Grimaterum Dam.
This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope that Omegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the area. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what happened here. Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defense. The tents are lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and animals were amongst the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of the presence of Constantine or Katasak. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the area and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasak wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. But there are bodies. And without a doubt, there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. A crater. Without a doubt, caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly to the end. Neither Constantine nor Katasak are amongst them. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Katasak have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? Constantine and Katasak must have been visiting this place, perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened and many fell during the fight. But a group escaped down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. The ones who got away fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames. That our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only corpses of our own men. Where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantin or Katasak. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon. But what could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. These vials look familiar. Katasak used the very same to stock his potions. He came all the way here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantin. What have you gotten yourself into again? According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge be in some way linked to this attack? That makes no sense. Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantin and Katasak definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual. But they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasak.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegat. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantin captive, he can now apply leverage to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. Regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. Perhaps we could return to Wenxavier in order to learn more. Katasak may have returned there. His Voglandaig might be able to tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers participated in the combat. Or at least the end of it. They must have some stories to tell us.
And you think that they would have taken Constantin? Is that possible? Maybe he was in need of treatment. But if you suspect them to have participated in the combat to capture him, I think you're wasting your time. I know the captain of that outpost. A pessimistic man who would never order an attack without being absolutely certain of total victory without losses.
Perhaps. Unless he was simply obeying orders. It does belong to the Coin Guard, after all. However, one way or another, Constantin is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
I've heard stories of your exploits. Thank you for all you've done. It's unusual for us to be offered aid by a Renaigse. It seems my Tiern was right. You are on Almanawi. How can I help?
Katasak has disappeared. Would you have an idea as to where he went?
What? But my Tiern followed you to help you. How would I know where to find him?
I don't know exactly what happened, but he took my cousin to a particular place. A place to perform a ritual. Their escort was attacked, decimated by beasts and by magic. And my cousin and Katasak have disappeared.
And you believe that the Tiern has taken your cousin and killed his soldiers? Your heart must beat in shadow to believe that the man who offered you his hand only did so in order to better betray you.
Wait. This is not what my friend wanted you to hear. Perhaps they were wounded, and your master wanted to take Constantine to a safe haven to heal him. We must find them at all costs. Wherever they are, they most certainly need help.
Forgive me, Doneged. Your words are true. I spoke without thinking. But I do not know how I can help you.
There may be a way. I found these vials of potion on the battlefield. Do they belong to your master?
They could very well, but let me see them closely. No, they are not his. This potion does not seem like any of those my master prepares. I do not know this smell. The plants used to make it do not come from here. Another Doneged must be implicated, but none that I know would attack Katasach. May the trees protect us. Who would attack the water that heals? The earth that feels? They must be in grave danger.
Yes. I sincerely hope that we will find them. That they are alive and well. I must go. I need to continue my investigations.
When you have discovered anything, let me know.
I have to go.
Qua'awelemseg.